We all know the sting of resistance, the subtle yet profound ache that arises when our will clashes with the unyielding face of reality. It is a fundamental human experience, this futile battle against what simply is. We rage against the storm, lament the past, or fret over a future that stubbornly refuses to bend to our desires. In this struggle, we expend precious energy, not in shaping what we can, but in warring with what we cannot. We chase tranquility as if it were a distant shore, oblivious that its currents flow from a different source entirely, the profound wisdom of acceptance. For the Stoics, this wisdom begins with a crystal-clear distinction, a fundamental truth that, once grasped, rearranges the entire landscape of our inner world. Epictetus, the former slave who became a profound teacher, laid it bare: some things are in our control, and others are not. This is not a resignation to fate, but a radical liberation. Our opinions, our impulses, our desires, our aversions, these are ours to command. But our bodies, our possessions, our reputations, and the actions of others, these lie beyond our immediate sovereignty. To confuse these two realms is to invite endless suffering. When we desire what is not in our control, or fear what is not, we become slaves to external forces. When we focus solely on what is within our power, we reclaim our inner fortress, unshaken by the vagaries of the world. This is the first step towards Amor Fati, the love of fate. Amor Fati is not a passive surrender, but an active, almost joyful embrace of everything that happens, recognizing it as an integral thread in the tapestry of existence. It is the understanding that the universe, in its infinite complexity, is unfolding precisely as it must, and that every event, every challenge, every unexpected turn, serves a purpose. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, encapsulated this spirit: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Consider the sculptor who, presented with a seemingly intractable block of marble, does not lament its hardness or its inherent imperfections. Instead, they see the very resistance of the stone as defining its potential, guiding their chisel, and ultimately, shaping the final masterpiece. The limitations become the parameters of creation. In our lives, the obstacles we face are not merely hindrances, they are the raw material upon which we can practice our virtues: patience, resilience, courage, wisdom. To embrace them, to genuinely love them, is to transform them from burdens into opportunities for growth, turning every challenge into a stepping stone, every setback into a lesson. This profound acceptance extends even to the impermanent nature of all things, a truth often met with resistance and sorrow. We cling to possessions, relationships, and even our own health and youth, desperately attempting to halt the relentless march of time. Yet, the Stoics remind us that everything we possess, everything we experience, is merely on loan from the universe. Seneca, in his letters, wisely observed, "He who has anticipated the coming of trouble takes away its sting when it arrives." By understanding that all things are transient, our loved ones, our successes, even our very lives, we can appreciate them more fully in the present moment, without the added burden of anxiety about their inevitable end. Imagine observing the changing seasons, the vibrant bloom of spring, the lushness of summer, the rich decay of autumn, and the stark stillness of winter. Each phase is beautiful, necessary, and temporary. To fight against winter's arrival would be madness. Instead, we accept it as part of the natural cycle, finding its own unique beauty and utility. This same tranquility can be found when we apply this understanding to the cycles of our own lives, accepting loss not as an injustice, but as an intrinsic part of the human condition, a testament to the flowing nature of existence itself. Moreover, the path of acceptance calls for a radical detachment from outcomes. We are conditioned to measure our worth by our successes, our accolades, or the attainment of specific goals. Yet, many of these outcomes are largely outside our control. The Stoic understands that true virtue lies in the effort, in the intention, in the process, and not necessarily in the final result. Consider the archer. Their task is to perfect their stance, their draw, their aim, their release, all elements entirely within their control. Whether the arrow hits the bullseye or is carried off course by an unforeseen gust of wind is, to a significant degree, beyond their power. To tie their sense of self-worth solely to the bullseye would be to surrender their tranquility to chance. Instead, the Stoic archer finds satisfaction and virtue in the diligent practice of their craft, in the purity of their effort. This does not mean we abandon ambition or strive for excellence. It means we anchor our peace in what is truly ours, our choices, our character, and our unwavering commitment to act with wisdom and integrity, regardless of the external results. This, then, is the profound freedom offered by the Stoic path of acceptance, the freedom from the tyranny of external events, from the exhausting struggle against what cannot be changed, and from the illusion that our happiness lies in controlling the uncontrollable. It is the freedom to live fully in the present moment, to respond with wisdom and virtue to whatever life presents, and to find a deep, abiding serenity in the simple act of aligning ourselves with the flow of the universe. To practice Amor Fati is to cease being a victim of circumstance and to become, instead, a willing participant in the grand drama of existence. It is to find peace not in the absence of challenges, but in the unwavering strength of a mind that embraces them all, knowing that within every event lies an opportunity for virtue, and within every acceptance, a deeper sense of self. Begin today. Look at what you are resisting, what you are fighting. Then, take a breath, and whisper to yourself, Amor Fati. Love your fate, for in doing so, you will find your truest strength and your most enduring peace. This is the Stoic Journal, inviting you to embrace your journey, fully and without reservation.